Dan pemirsa, berikut akan kami hadirkan wawancara eksklusif dengan Dubes Australia, Mr. Gary Quinlan, dengan topik masa depan cerah kerjasama Australia-Indonesia.
Salam Indonesia, pemirsa Indonesia Network dimanapun Anda berada. Kita berjumpa lagi dalam program kesayangan kita, wawancara eksklusif. Dan kali ini spesial sekali karena saya sedang berada di kantor Konsulat Jenderal Australia untuk Indonesia, tepatnya di Denpasar, Bali. Dan di sebelah kiri saya sudah hadir Bapak Duta Besar kita, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Gary Quinlan. Dan kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol di hari yang cerah ini bersama Mr. Ambassador. Hello, Mr. Ambassador, how are you?
Very good. And call me Gary, please.
Okay.
My first name is
So
Gary.
I call you Bapak Gary.
Please.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Good.
Thanks, JJ. Yeah.
Welcome to Bali.
Thank you.
The paradise island of Bali. How do you love Bali?
Well, I've been to Bali in the last year. I've been here about 5 times.
Okay.
Always on business. I'm always too busy meeting business, meeting government officials, going to conferences. So my regret is that I haven't been able to just spend some time pausing and relaxing, because it's a beautiful place. I know it well. I've been here for holidays in the past, particularly in Ubud.
Yes.
And on this occasion, I was present at the opening of the Ubud Writers and Readers Festival the other night. And I'll be there again on a panel this afternoon.
Okay.
And I'm going to enjoy myself by taking a day off in Ubud tomorrow before I go back to Jakarta.
Beautiful.
And I'll be back in Bali the next weekend for a business
Okay.
conference as
So
well.
you
So I'm
often
going back
come.
and forth.
Okay, good. And so Bapak Gary, you've been the ambassador for Indonesia. So it's almost a year, more
Yes.
than a year.
Just over a year.
Yes,
yeah.
and has there been aspect of your work in Indonesia that had surprised you?
Surprised? Not really. I think the word would be delighted me more than surprised. And I've followed developments from Canberra in Indonesia over the years, many years, and in my other jobs, but I've never lived in Indonesia before. So I think the delight is actually in living here and realizing how much we do with each other as two neighbors. I think neighbors need to cooperate very closely because we're next door to each other.
Yes,
And we're
that's
such
true.
big countries. And even I've been surprised to that extent by how much we do with each other. It's not just a political relationship, but economic. It's in maritime cooperation and law enforcement and cultural exchanges and education. It's so many different things. And that's exciting because it's what it should be.
Okay.
We need to do more, but it's what it should be.
Yes. So regarding on that part, as Australia's ambassador for Indonesia, what are your key areas of focus,
Okay.
and in particularly your priorities for
Okay.
Bali Island?
Priorities. There was always so many priorities and not enough time to do everything
Yes.
that you want to do. But look, I think in the first instance, one of my big priorities is to help the strategic cooperation between the two countries, to help shape what happens in our own region. Because we're both very big countries,
Yes.
we're both quite influential countries, and when we combine together, which we do in so many ways, we can have quite an effective influence on how things develop in our own region. So we do a lot of work together across regional policy on counterterrorism, law enforcement, people trafficking, and so many other areas like that. Maritime cooperation, that's a top priority. The economic business links, because we don't do enough with each other economically. And we've now signed a new economic partnership agreement this year. It'll soon be ratified by both our parliaments.
Yes.
And that will be a new platform, a new basis for our business people to start doing a lot more business with each other. So that's a very big priority. And then people to people, education links, cultural links, media links, tourism.
Yeah.
And Bali, well, Bali, a big tourist centre for Australia, and that's fine, and that's good. But what I want to explore is the business links.
Yes.
the creative economy, digital cooperation. There's over 1,000 Australian businesses working here in Bali, and we want to grow them more, and we want to get more Balinese going to Australia for education, business linkages. So that's a big priority, actually.
It's already in all aspects.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly,
Okay. And regarding the new agreement that you mentioned, because the trade and investment are the key areas of Indonesia and Australia.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, the new trade agreement, so between two countries, how it gonna be benefit for Balinese people, especially in business?
I think it's a very forward-looking agreement, trying to set a new basis for the two economies to grow with each other over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, and in the new industries that are going to provide jobs for the future. So digital, creative economy, more sophisticated ways of tourist development. So I think there'll be opportunities for investment from Australia in tourist infrastructure, quality tourist infrastructure, health services, and in areas of environmental sustainability, the use of energy, smart cities.
Smart cities.
Denpasar and Perth are looking at concluding an agreement about smart cities, and the Asia Pacific Smart Cities Conference will be held here in Denpasar next year. So there's a lot of things in those areas, and more educational linkages. I spoke to a group of 50 Indonesian postgraduate students who are going down to Australia, some of them leaving today. I spent some time with them yesterday, and they're going down. They're from right across the archipelago, but the training facilities for their English language ability are based here in Bali, and they've spent quite a lot of time perfecting their English, and then they're going down to Australia to do PhDs, doctorates, and other postgraduate degrees. Then they'll come back, and across a whole range of different studies, you know, politics, business, administration, marine science, environmental sustainability, tourism development. So all of these things are in fact the future, and of course young people are the future. And Indonesia has some of the most exciting young people in the world. They're so dynamic.
So it sounds so exciting for us.
It is.
I'm really sure that now the viewers who are listening to you, and they will have more excitement.
I hope so. I'm quite excited about it. Particularly anything with young people, young entrepreneurs, because it's the future for all of us.
Yes, of course. And it's a good start for this both
for the
country.
New agreement and the countries. Exactly.
And what about the cultural exchange programs? What the types of the programs that you have between Indonesia and Australia?
I mean, there's a lot in the educational area, if you think of culture very broadly. So a lot of educational exchange, but we have cultural programs in music. The West Australian Ballet, for example, works very closely with Ballet ID, Ballet Indonesia, helping them develop capacity and a repertoire. I spent some time with some of the young dancing communities out of Indonesia a couple of months ago. Brilliant, really brilliant. And what we want to do is take some of those young Indonesians to Australia and get them to perform in some of our capital cities, you know, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, because I think they would give a really young, dynamic, new image of Indonesia to Australians. We have artistic exchanges. At the moment, the National Gallery of Australia in Canberra has a very, very big exhibition of contemporary Indonesian painting over the last 20 years. And it's the largest exhibition of contemporary Indonesian art ever shown overseas. And our National Gallery has bought about 2/3 of the paintings to make them the basis of a new collection of contemporary Indonesian art in our National Gallery. And we're very strongly supportive of that. We have a Muslim exchange program so that our Muslim communities get to understand each other more. when the new international university opens in Jakarta, the Islamic International University, later next year, we will want some of our scholars to come to Indonesia to learn about Islam in Indonesia, so they see it through Indonesian eyes. So all those kinds of exchanges are extremely important.
Very interesting. And so, Bapak Gary, we are here now at the beautiful garden, and it's called the Memorial Garden.
Memorial Garden, yes.
Can you tell us what's the importance of this garden?
Yeah, I mean, this garden, it is very beautiful and it's very quiet.
Yes.
It's encourages reflection and so on. And there is a memorial here, of course, to the tragedy of 2002 and again in 2004 with bombings, terrorist attacks in Bali. 38 in 2002, as you know, 38 Indonesians were tragically killed, 88 Australians, and then 4 more Australians in 2005. So this is a memorial to them, but all of those who were killed from 22 countries, because we must never forget, we must always remember them. Because as human beings who died so tragically but so shockingly, we should remember them. But also, you know, because we need to remind ourselves of how important it is to resist that kind of extremism. And frankly, I think coming to a garden like this, you remember the people, you remember individuals, but you also, I hope, say to yourself, we simply must not allow this to happen again. So I think it's a very important part, not only of looking to the past, but looking to the future, of how we can stop this. And Australia and Indonesia have the closest cooperation, the closest of any 2 countries in the region to fight terrorism.
So, Bapak Gary, we understand that you will be attending one event, which is the Ubud Writers and Readers Festival, and you will be one of the panelists. So,
a good panelist, I hope. I'm not sure.
I'm sure about that. And why do you think it is so popular in the world, and what is the importance of this event?
I was thinking about that because we were at the palace and we were in the outer courtyard. There are 9 courtyards and we were in the first courtyard. And it is so beautiful, and you really do feel the spirituality, I think, of Ubud and the location. So I think a big part of its success is you do feel the spirit.
The spirit.
The spirit of Ubud. It's the spiritual and cultural centre, and I think that's tremendously important. And also, people are interested in Indonesia. I mean, Indonesia is such a huge country. It's the 4th largest country in the world. And this year, I think there are about 180 speakers from 30 different countries. There are 40 Australian writers who are going to participate. And there's a huge amount of interest, I think, in Indonesia. And Ubud is the centre, the spiritual centre. And the fact that the festival has grown so quickly and become so big, it's now one of the 5 major festivals of its kind anywhere in the world, says this is a successful and important festival. And just looking at the crowd the other night, there are people who've been there every year for 16 years. And you can see it in their eyes, the pleasure they have of coming back. So I intend to come back next year, and I hope next year just to spend 3 days attending the festival on my own, just to participate more in the festival and listen and talk to people.
And enjoying Bali as well.
And absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, Bapak Gary, Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for your time. And last but not least, would you say something as a closing statement to Indonesian people as well to Australian people? Because there are a lot here in Bali.
Indeed. What I'd say is we're 2 neighbours. We have a very powerful history together. Australia was Indonesia's strongest supporter for independence. President Sukarno nominated Australia to help negotiate for independence in the 1940s in the United Nations. 3 countries were on a commission. It was the United States, Belgium and Australia representing the independence movement. We had a perfect beginning because we believed in self-determination, freedom, independence for Indonesia from the very beginning.
Yes.
And that's the basis of a tremendously strong relationship. We're now working closer together than we ever have at the government level. We need to do more for business.
Yes.
And we need to know each other better.
Okay.
We need more Indonesian tourists in Australia. And we need tourists in coming to Bali to also go elsewhere. Come to Bali because it's so beautiful, but we want Australians also to go to other parts of Indonesia more, so they get to know the whole archipelago.
Yes.
So, and cultural exchange. I believe very much in cultural exchange. So the more we can do between the 2 countries, the better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bapak Gary. Have a wonderful day and success for your panelists at Ubud Writers and
Thank you.
Readers Festival.
Okay. Terima kasih, JJ.
Terima
Yeah.
kasih. Dan pemirsa, senang sekali itulah tadi perbincangan kita bersama dengan Bapak Duta Besar Australia untuk Indonesia. Dan mudah-mudahan apa yang disampaikan beliau itu adalah beberapa program yang menjadi fokus ke depan, dan mudah-mudahan itu memberikan inspirasi untuk kita semua sebagai sebuah bentuk kerjasama kedua negara yang sudah berjalan puluhan tahun dan semakin baik lagi ke depannya. Untuk itu, wawancara eksklusif ini saya akhiri. Saya tutup dengan Parama Santi. Om Santi, 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 Om. Salam Indonesia.